Heron,
And your telephone number?
936-499-4749.
And can you verify your date of birth for me, please?
May 19, 1942.
Okay, and what are you calling to report today?
I explained to the lady earlier. I want to report a white-collar crime being committed in Montgomery County. I have attempted to report this crime to Brett Ligon, the district attorney, and his subordinate, the chief of white-collar crime, Joel Daniels, refused to listen to my evidence in my case because I had a judgment against me by County Court Number 2, Judge Laird, regarding a request for information on the books and records of the Point Aquarius Property Owners Association Board. I've attempted to file a complaint through Sheriff Rand Henderson's office, and I have not received a favorable response. I met with Joel Daniels, who is the white-collar crime chief working for the DA's office, and he had in his company Todd McCoy, who is an officer in the sheriff's department, to support his claim that, number one, I wasn't permitted to record my interview with them, and they're complaining that, I do not have a case, a criminal case. I do have a criminal case, and I have evidence to support it. I can't get anyone in the county to listen to me, including prosecuting attorneys, former prosecuting attorneys, any attorney. I've been ripped off by a number of attorneys with whom I've filed complaints. I've filed complaints with the State Commission on Judicial Conduct against Judge Wayne Mack for the initial judgment that was inappropriate. He has not the qualifications to even judge on such a matter. I intend to file complaints to the State Bar Association against Mr. Brian P. Fowler, who is he's the attorney for the Property Owners Association and their agent, IMC Management Corporation. The Property Owners Association is a nonprofit corporation, and they have hired a for-profit attorney, Brian P. Fowler, and a for-profit corporation, IMC Management, to steal over $20,000 from me. That includes money that I have paid to attorney who withdrew from representing me in the Court of Appeals, in the court, County Court Number 2, in my appeal of the judgment from Justice Court Precinct Number 1. So I've been ripped off. I have been unable to date to obtain the transcript of my bench trial that I believe was inappropriate because I did not appear ready for trial. And I filed a continuance which was somehow denied by Judge Laird. I have filed all kinds of court documents, and you can check them out in case number 17-30386 in County Court Number 2. So I need to meet with somebody, hopefully with the FBI, that will listen to me, will review the evidence that I have against these people. Now, I can email a letter that I recently wrote to Sheriff Rand Henderson, and it has background information on most of this. So that's my case. How can you help me?
Okay, so when did all this fraud start?
It started in May of 2017.
Okay, and what exactly were they doing at that time?
Well, the Property Owners Association has been sending me invoices for assessments on property that I do not own. They have violated the deed restrictions. They are just generally committing fraud. I can show you, or anybody, the statements that they have sent. I'll show you all the complaints that I have entered and the motions that I filed in justice court and the county court. And it's pretty complex, pretty involved, and I just need someone to help me. I can't find an attorney to help me, and I can list attorneys that I've attempted to contact. So I'm at
Okay, so were they asking you to send money for the assessments on the property?
Yes, and I have not done so. In front of the Justice Court, Justice Wayne Mack did not include the evidence submitted by Brian P. Fowler in his transmittal of the records to county court, where I filed an appeal. There is no precedence for what I have done, which, as far as I can tell, I am the only person that in Montgomery County that has filed a complaint against the Property Owners Association to obtain the books and records. And I've complied with the state law, but Mr. Brian P. Fowler has found ways to convince Judge Mack initially that I was not in compliance with state law, and this procedure that he contends that I used the wrong procedure in requesting these files. The files I requested were from IMC Management Corporation, and they provided me with a form in which I should request these files. This form was not produced by the management company. My attempt to file a motion for discovery was somehow avoided, where my initial attorney, whom I had to terminate after he withdrew from representing me, he advised that I should be able to do that. Judge Claudia Laird advised me, after my attorney was permitted to withdraw, that I could represent myself pro se, which I did. And that led to, first of all, more motions, a dismissal of my case, which I had to have reinstated because of a procedural matter. I attempted to put together a summary judgment, and Mr. Brian P. Fowler had that shot down because I didn't provide the necessary 14 days notice for the motion to be heard in the court. So it goes on and on and on and on from there, as I am going on and on and on with you.
Okay. So when did you provide $20,000 that was taken from you?
Well, it occurred in several cases. It's a combination of appearance bond fees that I paid in cash rather than go to a bondsman, because I thought my case against the POA in Justice Court was solid, and I would get my appearance bond refunded to me if I was successful. So, and even if I wasn't successful, it's an appearance bond fee. Does that answer your question, or do I need to go further?
So was it all into appearance funds and then the attorney that backed out?
Yes. That's the majority of it, plus court fees. And, mailings that I sent out to the local residents. It does not include my personal time. I have spent well over 1,000 hours pursuing this. And I can only afford to do it because I am retired. I can spend time doing it. But I'm using my retirement funds to finance me. I am not going to give up until justice is done.
Okay, so have you contacted the State Attorney General's office about them sending you these invoices for property that's not yours?
The State Attorney General, which would be Ken Paxton? Yeah, that's who it is. Well, he himself was under investigation for bribery, as you may well know. Our county judge here Craig Doyle, has had criminal investigations against him, indictments against him, and I can send you information on the complaint that I sent to the State Commission on Judicial Conduct against Judge Wayne Mack, to which I received a boilerplate letter unsigned by anybody in the State Commission of Judicial Conduct. Boilerplate letter saying, my case was dismissed and I could appeal within 30 days. There are always appeals within 30 days. But if you find somebody who knows how to appeal or can help me in any appeal, that would be helpful too. I mean, it goes all the way to the top. I have sent letters to the governor, Governor Abbott, that have been intercepted by his staff. These are registered return receipt letters that have been intercepted by his staff and returned to me. I have letters, certified letters to Brett Ligon, the district attorney, who have been intercepted. The letters have been intercepted by his staff and returned to me. My most recent letter to him suggests to him, and I will read that to you. Let's see, what did I say? I suggested to Mr. Ligon that the integrity of your office may have been compromised insofar as my previous attempts to contact you personally have been intercepted and responded to by members of your staff. I sent this certified return receipt requested, personal and confidential, to Mr. Brett Ligon. I have not heard from him. I don't expect to hear from him. I think they are in a quandary because it's an election year, and anything that leaks out about, my complaint and the fact that there's corruption in the political system here is going to affect their chances of being reelected. And I am, in turn, sending all of this information to whoever I feel like sending it to. If that gives you a hint.
Okay. So have they said why they won't provide the books?
Yes. I cannot.
And what exactly did they say?
Well, it is apparent in the Brian P. Fowler's motion to the judge, Wayne Mack, to file a judgment against me. And it has to do with section 209.005 of the Texas Residential Property Protection Act. And it's subsection P, which he referred to. The management company did not have at the time a management certificate on file, which supposedly, according to Mr. Brian P. Fowler, spells out the form in which I was supposed to submit the request for the books and records from the POA. That form was not filed until April of this year, and the case took place in October of 2017. So, IMC management had been operating in violation of the law since that time.
Okay, so who exactly is IMC management? Are they managing the Property Owners Association, or?
Yes. They are the agent representing the Property Owners Association.
And have they given you a reason on why they're sending you these invoices for the assessments?
Well, as far as it's stated on the invoices, yes.
Okay, but have they stated on those invoices why they've sent them to you? On why they're trying to get you to pay on property that you don't own?
Well, they're doing that, and they're sending me invoices for legal fees, which I've already been sued for, by... They took my appearance bond money and applied it to, I think they've applied it to, the legal fees that Mr. Fowler spent in defending IMC for not giving me the information that I requested. It just is a conspiracy between, the POA, Mr. Roland Morgan, and the president of the POA, Lawrence Vasslet. Roland Morgan has been vice president or in some office of the association for at least the past 9 years. And he's been involved in rigging the elections. I have proof of that because I ran for a position on the board, figuring that if I'm on the board, I can get access to the books and records of the association. And this is documented, it should be documented, in the record of my bench trial in County Court 2. So I'm in the process now of trying to obtain the transcript of the court records of my bench trial, which was held in May of this year. And they're telling me that I need to pay another $432 before even seeing the transcript of my records. And I am going to file a complaint to the Judge Laird about that today. Now, in that transcript, there is record of Mr. Roland Morgan on the stand, there should be record of it, saying that if he, as vice president of the association, were to request the books and records of the association, he can. I have, the treasurer by law of the association, the treasurer of the association by law has a fiduciary responsibility to the members of the association, one of whom is me. And they have been, you know, if they haven't been looking at this, I have evidence that of how the IMC management issues these invoices to property owners. They request payments through Mutual of Omaha's bill pay system. So if you pay, into the Mutual of Omaha account, you don't have no idea what account it's going into. I have been a forensic auditor for some of the major oil companies in the Houston area. BP, Motiva, Shell, and I know how these things happen. I have proof of how they happen. I need somebody to take these people to an honest court.
Okay, but you said you haven't contacted the State Attorney General's office yet?
Oh, how about, I tried the governor, and after finding out that the State Attorney General, he's history. He's got, charges against him for bribery and all kinds of crap. What good would that be? It would never get there. I've sent my latest letter to the county attorney. That'll detail a lot of it for you. But,
I mean, sir, without having further details, this is something that would still be handled within the state. This isn't something the FBI would get involved with.
Public corruption? That's not
but
public
sir,
corruption?
All you told me is that they won't give you the books to see. That would still be something that's handled within the state.
No, they're trying to rob me. They have robbed me of $20,000. That's the bottom line. They're committing robbery, white-collar crime robbery. Fraud.
Sir, you still haven't articulated to me the federal crime. Thank you for calling.
Wait a minute. The federal crime?